Hallelujah, Amon Ra.
Well, hey, y'all, welcome on back. If y'all been keeping up, there's some island hopping going on, but not the relaxing tropical type, more the kind of rising from the mist, scary seven deadly sins type, as far as I can figure it, at least. Anywho, I don't want to keep this too long, because I got a feeling something's going down today. Marshal Kevin.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
Oh, I am well. How about the parts of you that are here this week? How are they doing, Marty?
I got most of me trying to keep it together, as they say. But, you know, it's complicated.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Thank you so much for that. We have to do some technical stuff first before the fun starts. So let's just dive right into that so we can get to the fun bit as quickly as possible. I need first to talk about what happens on this channel 2 other nights of the week, Sunday and Monday. The most benevolent dungeon master on the surface of the globe, because he has not TPK'd us twice in the last 2 weeks. Puck Lord of Chaos running his Mercs of Mischief on Sunday and Too Many Warlocks on Mondays. Check the panels below for actual times. Also, our newest show on Thursdays, again, check times because they're from all over the world, and it happens at strange times for us North Americans. But the Avalon Society London Fall is being presented by Dead Aussie Gamer and some friends of his. It takes place in the Malifaux universe. It uses the Through the Breach system. And this cast is nuts. This is star-studded, to say the least. Guy from How to Be a Great GM. Myri from Orkenspalter TV, Till from Dungeon Fog, Janet from World Anvil, Anthony, also known as Vegemite Dangerous from Roll for Damage, and their Fate Master, Michael himself from Dead Aussie Gamer. Again, check those panels down below to get the actual start times where you live. If it's not possible for you, watch the VOD or pop over to YouTube and see it there later on in the week. Speaking of going to YouTube, that is also where we have our special stuff. Lots of videos, all the past stuff from all of our episodes, plus any other features, one-shots, and things like that we did. And while we're on the subject of technical stuff, thanks to Tabletop Audio and Audionautics for the sounds and the music that you guys will hear Marty piping in tonight with his regular amazing timing. Also like to thank Thunderscape 7 for all the character art in this game, which has been amazing. And on very short notice, 2 of them were redone in mid-season, so that was wonderful as well. Also, while we are thanking people, thank you to every single one of you over there in Twitch and or YouTube lands. We appreciate you guys watching. We appreciate the bits. We appreciate the subs. We appreciate the follows. Every single one of those. Thank you for all of them. They all make a difference. And remember, if you do have Twitch Prime, it comes with a free subscription. We'd really appreciate it if you gave it to us every month. But do check every month because it doesn't auto-update, so you have to do it every month. We'd really appreciate that. Other than that, I got 5 more things to do before we start, and that's introduce these wonderful people who are going to help me tell this story tonight. We're just going to do them in order. Ryan playing Baptiste. Ellie played by, Ellie being played by Hannah. I'll get some reason I keep flipping those in my head, and I got it right most of the season, but I just got it wrong. Sarah playing Alice. Sky playing Jett, and Lessamax playing Lucius. You know them. I don't need to introduce who they are. I'm just going to quickly tell you that it must be time to go into the intro. Marty, if you would.
And now, let's go down a new rabbit hole where we find our Poison Paradise Party, Hollywood bound.
have returned. And usually I do sort of a person-by-person review of what happened last week, but I'm just going to glom most of it together this week because they spent a fair amount of time last week worried about their own weaknesses, I think is probably the best way to put that. Worrying about their own potential failures when confronted with whatever it was that was ahead of them on this journey. But they did find some true believers that can't seem to get along. And a very arrogant ex-lay preacher with an unending flagon, an infinite amount of beef jerky, and a mighty hatred for all of this tomfoolery that's going on in the island with him. Then, right at the end, when the party had convinced themselves that this island was entirely and 100% about pride, Jett decided this was an excellent time to get all swole. So he rubbed some dirt on his face and he did mutter some magics for the first time that anybody else had seen. And short of the green paint and the copyright infringement, he did Hulk out on this island and yelled a challenge, if I remember. I was wondering, could we start with that challenge?
Oh, God, you want me to do that again? I don't even remember exactly what it was, but I can try.
That's okay, neither do I. Just say something.
It was something along the lines of like, I'm better than all of y'all religious-looking sissies, so why don't y'all and y'all come fight me? And that was roughly it. And I ripped my shirt off.
Your shirt off, yes. So you're standing there all hulked out, just adrenaline pouring through your system, eyes bugging out of your skull, just waiting to just throw something off the surface of the globe. And it's very quiet. And from one camp you hear, "May the Lord forgive you and your sins." And from behind you you hear, what's that in aid of, son?
What?
Johnny Onion Seed's looking at you confused. What are you attempting to accomplish?
I'm gonna beat him humble.
Let me get this straight. You think this is about pride?
Well, yeah, what in tarnation else would it be?
No, I'm not done yet, son. You think this is about pride and you thought the best thing to do would get all puffed up and yell, "No one's tougher than me."
Yes. Just this big hulking Jett in the middle.
You know, son, there's room for a third camp just back over here at the edge.
Oh, Lord. So nobody's gonna fight me.
No one's going to who would fight? Have you seen you?
They thought they were religious warriors, and I just called them religious sissies.
They were fighting each other. One little religious fella, another little religious fella. One guy's got a Bible, the other guy's got a cross. They kind of thump on each other for a minute and then go home.
And I imagine all of this time I'm just deflating.
How long does it last?
I don't know. I should probably look that up. Here, I'll put it back in chat. 4 hours.
4 hours.
Yeah, this was yeah.
So for the next 4 hours, you
can you choose to let it go?
I don't know. I think it's better if I can't.
Now, I do believe that if you meet with swelling that lasts longer than 4 hours, you should probably contact your doctor.
Oh, no. So, you tell me, Marshal Kevin, is it going down, or is this just, am I stuck?
No, this is the first time. You're going to have to figure out how, you might be able to figure out how to turn this off at some point in the future, but right now, no, this is like the first time you hit it. And the thing is, this isn't just like, you're not just big and muscular. This comes with, you are fight ready. So the adrenaline is just coursing through your system. You are stronger than anything ever. You are convinced you could punch the hell out of dirt, and you could just make land go away by stomping on it. That is how just overwhelmingly ready to fight you are.
I mean, if we do trigger the demon,
At least
It'll
we've
probably
got
within the
be
next
Jett.
4 hours would be a good
After
time.
that,
Yeah.
probably.
Somebody find me something to fight. I'm getting real crazy.
Oh god.
I'll walk up to Jett and like, well, he's bigger, so I can't put my hand on his shoulder, but just like his wrist, and say, maybe this is exactly the time when you should wrestle with yourself.
I knew. And I look at him, and I'm imagining my brain is too full of adrenaline to understand. So I try to put myself in a headlock. I'm just like, ugh.
Oh, wait, oh. And I back up quickly and kind of like look over to like Alice and Ellie and be like, oh, that's not what I meant, but
You broke Jett. After he
think
broke
Jett
himself.
I think Jett broke Jett. I think he needed this.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know what I'm doing. I assume I'm just like,
Alice is, I just want to say, Alice is still sitting on the ship, just watching
Yep.
Jett now through her camera lens from afar, just like, what in the world is he doing?
Johnny looks over at you, Baptiste, and says, huh, I never thought I'd meet another man of the cloth that I liked, but that was brave and wise.
And I'm thinking to myself, oh, damn it, this was actually kind of what my idea was going to be. He just beat me to it. But, well, because, I mean, Jett's younger than I am now. So, yeah,
Yes.
just like, just going, well, you know what they say. Youth is wasted on the young. So I will sit down next to Johnny then and just kind of be like, now if you were to want to try to get the both of them back out here like you said they used to, well, how would you go about doing it?
He kind of grins at you and says, I'd work one against the other.
Oh, I got something in my eye. I'm so sorry, folks. All right.
You thinking about getting them back to the mainland?
Well, I actually thought that if there was a way of trying to get one of them not to, like, I mean, nobody here needs to agree the other person's right, but maybe if we could just get them to sort of understand what the perspective of the other side is, it'd be a way of getting the ball rolling.
I've been trying that for a couple days now. What did you have in mind?
Well, I hadn't quite sussed it out that far yet. I've only been here for about 20 minutes.
I guess we could just send him over and chase them all back.
I'm over there doing
Chase them all
jumping
together.
jacks and push-ups.
Burpees.
Yeah.
You know, it's really funny. This is actually kind of interesting to watch. He's usually, I mean, I like him, but a bit scrawny, you know, wiry. Someone say.
Don't let him hear that right now.
Are you guys going to do something? Because I'll like jump and go punch
after-
everybody on the next island.
After a couple of minutes of watching Jett, I imagine Alice would be like, well, if that didn't trigger the the thing, then I don't know that. I think I might be okay. And so Alice will come join. And,
I might be prideful, but I'm not that prideful.
yeah, like,
Yeah. So once Alice is here with Ellie and Lucius, I'll just sort of relay the fact that Johnny sort of said that what might be most effective is trying to get one of them to issue the challenge to the other person versus trying to get them to both come after us. But
Well,
how to do
I guess
that?
you could
I mean-
also try. I mean, technically, they've got something in common. I mean, they're all believers.
What do you believe in?
Tomfoolery for the most part. I believe what I see. That's why I don't wear that anymore. And he points at Baptiste's stole.
Oh. So you did believe.
I was a lay preacher at best.
I don't know. Is that I don't. Would Alice know what that means?
Probably. Correct me if I'm wrong, because we do have somebody here that's going to have far better knowledge on this than me. But that's essentially, as I understood it, it's basically someone who has more or less taken the position on himself rather than being specifically ordained to do it.
Yeah.
Is that
Okay,
correct?
all right.
Yeah.
I don't. All right, so Marshal Kevin, I like.
Yep.
I want to know what I can do to try to get a. I don't know if it's a roll or something. I just kind of got the Baptiste has this like itch in the back of his head, like this weird notion that maybe it's not those two groups that the pride has taken hold of, that it might actually be this guy, this idea of, and which Baptiste has experience with, of the idea of like fallen faith and too proud to put your faith in a higher power and all that. Like, is there a way that I can try to get a feel of like maybe is the demonic power, is it coming from one of the other camps or both of the camps, or is it more central on this guy? Because Baptiste has the idea that maybe it's this guy.
Okay.
I don't know what that might be though. I mean, I've got a cult.
Let's just do it this way. You kind of have a moment of quiet and sort of introspection, and you let that renewed faith that you've just reignited, you let it sort of be the judge of this.
Mm-hmm.
And you think of the 2 silver coins in your pocket, and you reach out with your mind. There are no coins on this island.
So are these just a bunch of idiots?
Oh,
You see Jett in the background.
just doing wind sprints.
Yeah.
Running laps around the island.
She's like, come on, bro. Like, you got a protein shake or something? Give me that barrel of jerky.
At pre-workouts kicking in.
Give him a shake weight. Sorry. This is for my OnlyFans.
So yes, there is no coin on this
Huh.
island. Whatever this problem is, it is a problem of people, not of possession.
I don't know how. I don't know if that makes me feel any different about fixing it. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Hold on. Okay.
Well,
yeah. Okay. That's
Alice
While
is
the others,
just-
yeah, while we're doing that,
Alice is just-
Ellie and Lucius, what are you doing?
I was gonna say Alice is just based on the assumption that we thought it was pride.
Mhm.
Alice is just gonna keep kind of talking this guy up and like, oh, so you used to be, you used to be a priest. What happened? Why did you stop believing? Like, basically being a reporter.
Mhm. Yep. The story you get from him is pretty simple. He was a young, committed person. He got into the religious side of things. He became a lay preacher, and then, as he puts it, I saw the stupidity people did to each other. Believers, non-believers, it don't matter. They were just stupid-ass people to each other. I mean, it ain't complicated message. Be nice. It's not complicated.
So you became better than them by not believing?
Not better. Just outside. Had enough.
So, what's the point? What's the end goal here? You die alone and they die out there? Like what?
I am waiting to get rescued. Them and them, they're probably waiting to get rescued too, but there will be such an argument as to who gets to go first that they will all starve to death on this end of that line.
But not you, right?
No, I ain't fighting with nobody. I just want off.
I can swim you back to shore.
Jett!
Son, you could probably throw me back to shore.
I could do that
But
too.
I wouldn't survive the landing. Jerky?
Walk up to Jett. Sun's getting real low, big fella.
Well, I guess. Did you guys? Well, I guess Alice at this point would notice like that after a certain time she would start to notice that like if y'all didn't share it that the jerky is still full and the beer is still full.
The beer never goes down. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And that seems odd to me.
Yep.
And so like if I like reach my hand down in this jerky barrel, does it just feel, is it normal? Is it weird in any way? Different than I would expect?
First of all, as you reach in, you start. It just feels like it's full of jerky, and then you hear, "Well, you're rather forward." Most people ask before somebody shove your hand in somebody's barrel.
I'm going for the good bits at the bottom. Figured I'd dig one
Where they
out
keep
for you.
them.
And then she continues to dig around.
Yep, it is just. The weird part is that like it's a little mini barrel, right? It's only like sort of 24 inches tall, but you can go into it right to the elbow, and you're still not at the bottom, and there's still it's just everywhere you feel there's just another piece of jerky.
So it just never it's like Mary Poppins' bag.
Yeah,
Do you need help?
it's deeper than it is. It's bigger on the inside.
And if she doesn't stop, I'm just gonna grab it and turn it upside down. I'd be like, "Here, it's probably at the bottom," and I'll just shake it.
And there is like a pile
Just a mountain
of jerky on the sand.
Does it ever stop?
Where's the bottom of this?
He's holding it up in the air.
Is it still coming out?
It is. There is now a mountain that
A
like
growing mountain?
as high as you can hold it. It's the only reason it's not. If you move it, more will continue.
Does that
to come
not
up.
seem weird to you?
I don't know. I'm gonna
Those-
see. I want to.
Wasteful? Yes. Weird? No.
Now, we don't want to make this about gluttony, Jett.
I started running with it. I'm just gonna make
boy.
a trail of jerky around the eye.
Can we get him a squeaky ball or something?
I don't know. I think he needs
Something
something with
to
a little
do.
more substance.
There's just a weird trail of jerky.
Go, hey, Jett, go. Is this island? Are there mountains?
There's something I can
It's
go
dead
punch.
Everything out here
Oh.
is dead flat.
Jett, go
Ellie?
move that corner of island to that corner of island. Can you
Got
work on that for me?
Throw the
please?
barrel down and I go.
I'm scared he'll do it.
He's gonna try.
I don't keep him occupied, if nothing else.
Yeah, he runs over to the edge of the island and starts hauling on it, breaks off a big rock and runs over and puts it down. Yeah.
Mr.
Ellie, you
Seed or Onion Seed, if you'll excuse us for a minute, and try to pull the other three
Yep.
over.
Mhm.
And yes, I mean, Ellie, Ellie, you've been watching all of this. Lucius, Alice, certainly something's odd, but an unending barrel of jerky and beer, we've kind of seen that before. I don't know that there's anything actually supernatural other than his provisions on this particular island. I think it might just be stubborn people.
So then how did he get the bottomless jerky barrel.
And the bottle of beer that never ends.
How did I get what I have? How do you
I don't know.
have? How do any of us? I mean,
Tell you.
my point, if you let me make it, is that we all have wondrous things, and this guy has a bottle of beer that doesn't end. I mean, yes, that is supernatural, but as far as, and he taps the pocket where the coins are, I don't actually think there may be anything demonic on this one.
So,
which means we have to make a choice.
do we just
try
leave,
to help?
or
Do we help stubborn people, or do we try to help them on the way back and go after larger fish, as it were?
Well, I'll tell you what. Here's maybe what we do. Let's check on the other two groups, and if they have endless provisions as well, then it seems to me like they will be stagnant, but fine until we can come back.
Sure, we can. Some of us can go to one, some of us go to the other, so we don't, don't let Father Grimm get too much more of a head start.
Agreed. It would also be interesting to know if it's just him that has these provisions, but if they all have it, then they should be fine until we come back.
Do you want to take Big Boy with you?
I was just gonna say, why don't I go take?
He's
care
made a
of
pillow
Jett?
fort out of boulders.
Why don't I go take care of Jett? See if I can get him to use this energy. So
I think we just let him rebuild the island, and we split off into pairs.
Well, if you do take that, probably is not a bad idea. But if you do take him, perhaps you should go to the group that has the Templars, just in case a fight does happen.
That's a fair point. We'll do that. So, Lucius, are you coming with me?
So be it.
Okay, so the goal, we just want to get in, figure out if they have provisions.
Yeah, do they have enough to last?
Yeah,
them
do they have enough
week?
to last? Yeah.
Yep.
Do they have endless? Yeah. Okay.
And then the other two, Ellie and Baptiste, what are you up to?
We'll go to the I keep saying papists. I feel like that's not a nice way of putting it.
There's a connotation to that. It's
we'll
the
go
correct
to the
word, but it's
group.
Okay. All right.
Marshal Kevin.
Yes.
On this island, is it like the last one where there's stuff that they could hypothetically be building to get back?
Yes, absolutely. You see that there's tents and small lean-tos and stuff. They were, like the other ones, they were not left with nothing. They were left with enough to build shelters and that sort of thing. So yes, there is enough here that they could easily get themselves back.
Okay.
Yeah, and Johnny had mentioned that the reason that they hadn't yet was because they were arguing about who should go first.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's start with... you guys are taking Jett with you, so this is going to be funny. Let's do that one first. You guys head towards the Templar camp, correct?
Yep. Come on, Jett.
I did it. Look, there's no corner over there anymore.
I'm so proud of you.
Just,
Just
I assume this is how he walks.
yeah.
I'm so proud of you. Come on, we got.
He, as a very specific theater of mind, gaming of the theater of the mind game, is he actually bigger, or is he just still kind of wiry walking around like that?
He is. He looks like the muscles are trying to rip through the skin.
Oh, okay. So he actually did. Okay.
He hulked
you
down.
can
'Cause
see
this
the.
whole
He
time
looks
in
like
my
he's.
head,
Yeah.
he was still.
He's still
just Jett
spindly.
being
He's
like.
That's way funnier. And now I want to retcon it. Oh, I really do. Okay, it's theater of the mind. For those of you that find a skinny Jett pumped up running around funnier, let's go with that. For those that want a swole Jett, let's go with that. Everybody's happy.
Yeah, I'm just like, Jett, we got something to do. Come on.
So as you guys get close, you see this is it's set up like a military camp. All the tents are in rows. There's streets, there's lights, there's guards walking up and down. Guards, priests with wooden sticks. and wooden shields marching up and down the streets. You see a couple of them sparring in the center of one of the courts, but it's
So who?
you guys have been in real fights, right? This is not a real.
Yeah. Where's the guy that looks like he's in charge? I think he was described to us. So where do I see that guy?
There's a major tent in the center of the area, and as you get close, the one of the guards looks up at the three of you and says, "You're not from the other camp, are you?
No.
You're outsiders?
Yes. We
Are you believers?
Well, we all believe in something.
What do you want?"
We just wanted to see the status of your provisions and see if you how things are faring. The guy in the middle, he's good on provisions. We just wanted to make sure that you all were as well.
He didn't tell you? First of all, you're not going to let this thing go, are you?
No, he's just a little wiry. As long as nobody provokes him, it should be fine.
No, I do not want to wrestle. Johnny every night pours us a line of jerky in the sand.
See, I was trying to do that. Y'all said it was crazy.
So,
And
Jett, shut up.
a trough of beer.
So you don't have provisions of your own. They are.
Not anymore, no. For a while we did, but when we got hungry, we just get up early so nobody sees.
Okay. Do you know where he gets all the jerky from?
There's an old saying about the hand that feeds you.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Can you get us back?
Well, it looks like he said you all were trying to build a way to get back.
Yeah, but the Monsignor and the father, they're always fighting about who's gonna go back first. We're all going back, right?
What if you sent one representative of each group back each trip? And then instead of one group going first, it was representatives from each party going back at the same time.
Sort of half and half.
Yes.
Like they could stay on that side of the rope, we'd stay on this side of the rope.
Yes.
Then when we got back, they could go to their church, we'd go to our church.
Yes. Like that.
You are heaven sent.
Like I said, we all believe in something, and mine is logic.
Yeah, it's such a good idea. Because to be honest, I mean, jerky and beer sounds great.
Yeah.
And it's fun for a couple days.
Till about the third day.
But my stomach is killing me.
Maybe you could present that to them and see if that's a viable solution. Because then, all right, nobody's going back first. It's everybody going back at the same time. And since he's been feeding you, of course, you could offer to take Mr. Onion Seed back as well.
Maybe we can convince him to tie his mouth shut for the trip. But wait a minute.
Just fill it with jerky. It's fine.
I like this idea so much. If necessary, I will beat this idea into the Monsignor's head. He's old.
Okay, well, maybe not.
I would love to
No,
participate.
Jett.
No. He's like 70. You'd shatter him like a stick.
I could throw him across the ocean if you need me to.
Jett, no.
But yeah, just maybe present that idea to him, and maybe both sides can come to an agreement that it doesn't have to be one group going first. You know, maybe you send the underlings first of each group, or however you want to do it.
We can, as long as it's even, I think we can do this. Oh, that's such a good idea. Excuse me, sir. Are you an undertaker by any chance?
Well, yes, I am.
The clothes sort of
Yes.
in the face.
How can I
Those
help you?
eyes. Kind of, it's coming off you in waves. We've got a lot of dead, and we've been blessing them and preparing them. We can't dig this dirt for nothing.
Well, I would be honored to do that. And my friend here will help.
He can dig holes real good.
Time has come.
Jett, hold on. I grabbed...
In my head, Jett just went full dog, like head down in the dirt, just digging ditches.
I grab a piece of jerky and I go, Jett, eat a jerky. You're not you.
I don't think this is gonna fix this, but it's good jerky. Give me a big shovel.
So the two of you maybe can dig some graves quickly.
Oh, I'll dig to the center of the earth.
Well, I don't think that's. Listen, I think you follow Lucius's
just like
guidance.
a little over 6 feet, little 6 feet, and then long.
I feel like you can do that at this point in like 2 scoops of dirt.
So yeah, maniacal Jett gets a mission and starts to dig into the undiggable. This is like salt flats, and there's just a mist of salt and dirt and sand flying into the air. All you can see is his ass sticking out of the dirt as he works his way along, bent over at the waist, digging these graves.
So by just kind of directing him what to do.
Was born.
And we can come back to it. But while he's doing that, I guess Alice will go with this leader to try to talk to the priest or whatever about this idea.
Yeah, the Monsignor. Yeah, absolutely.
But we can come
no
back
problem
to that.
at all. It's actually, we can kind of shortcut it because he takes you into town. You present the idea. You can see in his eyes he's done. Like, he's exhausted. He's been fighting for too long. He just wants a way out, but you can tell he needs a way out with some dignity from his point of view. And this allowing, as long as he discusses, it should be 10 of us and 5 of them, but you sort of talk him down from that. And he, in the end, you come out of the tent and he says, yes, I agree to this.
Okay.
This is over.
Presuming the other side agrees, we'll put a plan into work right away. You should get everyone ready to working on provisions to get back and making your apparatus.
Jerky and beer, one presumes.
That and the apparatus with which you'll actually get, however, plan to do that.
Yes, we shall pray for guidance. I'm sure we will be fine. Thank you. What is that? And he looks over, and there's just this badger of a human being just mayheming.
He's helping to dig some graves for your fallen.
Oh,
so that they may be put to proper rest.
Oh, that's very useful. Thank you.
Of course.
What would we have done? And that one's an undertaker, isn't he? And there's like, he's putting winding sheet. I mean, it's pretty obvious now because he's putting the bodies in winding sheets and supervising. Yeah, he's sort of moving along behind the trenching machine.
Yeah, he's the supervisor.
Every time he's done, because I don't want him to like dig too deep, I take another piece of jerky and I throw it to the next area. That I want.
Oh god.
So, meanwhile, over at the other camp, Baptiste and Ellie, you guys arrive near this is much more ramshackle. This is just tents wherever tents are. And as you get close, you hear sort of, not a challenge, it's more of, hey, look. And you can see people are looking out from the tents at the two of you.
Oh, they're telling each other to look. I thought they were telling us
at
to
each other. Yeah, like, look. There's people coming.
What? I see Ellie.
I should be more clear.
Oh, I never got. I never actually got the name of the priest. Probably should have asked for that.
I
one,
told him.
though.
I'm pretty sure.
This one is Father. Oh, you didn't get it from Lucius, did you? Or did you?
I did. I told him.
Oh, did you?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What is it?
Father Potter Stewart.
Potter Stewart. Okay. Then yeah. Okay. Well, I suppose we should just
The
probably
other one
go
was Monsignor Bellocassus.
head straight to the man in charge. Or do you think we should look around first, talk to the people?
I feel like groups like this tend to just direct you to who's in charge.
Well, all right. Then yeah. So, we are here to speak with Father Stewart.
Are you from the other party? Sorry, this guy sounds exactly the same as the other guy. Sorry about that.
They're brothers.
The
I'm sure.
twins.
The other party?
Yeah.
There we
A
go.
house divided cannot stand.
We're a neutral party, actually.
You're from the mainland?
That is correct.
Yeah, and there's some muttering, and there's sort of a series of movements from the center of the village, and this older gentleman in full robe, they're filthy dirty, but they're full robes, approaches the edge of the group and looks over at the two of you, looks at you for a second, Baptiste, looks at the stole, the guns, back at the stole. Looks at you again. You're traveling with a young. Well, I guess you're young, so that's not a problem. I was going to say you're traveling with a young lady, but you're also young. So, yes.
We wanted to see how it was that you were faring here with your congregation.
And he looks at you for a second, like he's trying to decide whether you're being really rude or not. Oh, you don't know where we're getting our food and drink from? You were just talking to him.
One Mr. Onion, see, he provides you from his barrel.
Yep. Humility, it is said, is good for the soul. It is certainly no good for my colon.
Yeah, there's not a lot of fiber available. Well, if things are so desperate, why not head back? I mean, with the amount of parishioners you have, I'm sure you could construct something.
We are in discussions as to who is going to be returning to the city of Lost Angels first.
Between the two groups?
Yes.
I don't see why there has to be a first. You were just speaking of humility, were you not? If that's important for what you eat, I imagine it would be just as fine for traveling with some people who you may not see eye to eye with.
Yeah, Baptiste is making this face.
Yeah. Yeah. And he looks at you with your stole, and he looks at Ellie without her stole. And he's... The other thing about humility is it's supposed to be endless. What are you suggesting?
Well, I'm sure that between your group and theirs, putting some differences aside and working together, you would be able to make it back home.
Home. My church.
Well, I do believe there was something along the lines of where any group gathers in my name, there I will be. Church is not a building.
Wise man, you.
Well,
I
I'm
would
not the
simply
one that said
counter.
it, but I appreciate it.
I would only counter that some of the places of worship are more comfortable than others. And this one's damn windy.
Well, then, all the more reason to want to get back.
So, us first and then them?
How about together? I will remind you that in his letters to the Corinthians, Paul did say, we are one and strongest working together in unity.
Son of a bitch. I have been doing this for a very long time, and I have told many people what they have done wrong, and I have been righteous and indignant about their frailties. And now here I stand, frail and exposed. Well, I guess we're changing the name outside of my church. Who the hell do I talk to get off this rock?
Well, I think maybe if you just send a couple of folks out to Onion Seed there in the morning, probably a couple more will meet them, and you can go on from there. It's not about being first, it's about getting there together.
You ever do guest speaking? You ever spoke at a church that was not your own?
Well, there's a lovely little theater up in Wyoming, if you ever want to make your way up there, that I'll tell you all about.
It's probably a good thing you don't run a cult, son. He just kind of pats you on the shoulder. And he turns around and says, you bunch of idiots, go in the morning, go talk to Johnny. We're going home. And there's like this ragged cheer spreads through the camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. On the way back, just kind of be like, well, it was surprisingly easy to get them to agree, but I guess I'm glad there's no giant evil demon busting up out of the ground this time.
Well, considering
As you
our
say-
solution was basically
God, Jett, get ready.
How did I get over
But it's
in this
Jett,
camp?
so-
It's exactly 4 hours later, and all of a sudden,
Yeah. The earth erupts in front of you, one arm out, the other arm out, the head comes up, it's Jett. I dug a hole.
Good job, Jett. Here's another one.
So, you guys get the dead buried. Jett refills the holes after. You guys all together make your way back to the center, and at the end of that time, it starts to wear off on the way back, Jett, and you just start to just... Like, you ever been so scared that you just about exploded, and then like an hour later you can't move? Like every muscle in your body is just the lactic acid. It's like you worked out for 3 days and forgot to stop. Your head's just pounding with that after energy headache. You're going through all the things you could have done, should have done, might have done. You're in there. You're in there as you walk back to the center of the island.
Lucius, he's gonna pass out.
So
He's just
I'm just gonna.
wobbling.
I
And
see
for
this,
those
and
of
I'm
you
gonna-
for whom he is swole, he is unswolling as we speak.
So I'm just gonna kind of just help him, or I'll do the whole pick him up this way. Like, oh come on. It's like
Run over me and
you're already out of. I'm like, you're already out of steam. Too bad. I was hoping we could wrestle afterwards. Oh well.
I like grab
Already
an
out of
arm and
steam
just like,
after
Lucius, you take
4
the other arm.
hours.
So back at Johnny,
Yeah.
anything else that you'd like to do for the rest of this day?
Well, I guess we just fill each other in. And then, you know,
So, hey, we both had very similar plans.
yeah. And Alice tells, because she can foresee that this might be a problem, so she tells Mr. Onion Seed. She says, now they look like they've both agreed to come together and get off of the island. And yeah, yep, it's fine.
Now, I thought the never-ending jerky and beer was a miracle, but what the hell did you just say?
Well, I don't know what their discussion was, but I told them that they should, instead of one party going back before the other, why not send equal representatives at a time? Was my suggestion. So that
We just told them they ought to work together.
similar approaches.
I dug a hole.
Yeah, he dug a lot of holes.
You did good, Jett.
But yeah, I told them that they should just send back equal numbers of parties. You know, two and two.
You folks got a way of making a man feel stupid.
Well, I'm sure
Man,
it's just the outside perspective, that's all.
Yeah, you're too
No,
close
I
to
suspect it was mostly me yelling at him.
Well,
That too.
Anyway,
I wouldn't worry too much about it.
I think that you should agree to go maybe wherever it is, whichever order it is they'd like to send you, and not cause a
I'm
fuss.
assuming they
if
told
it's-
you I'm their food source. So
Yes.
yeah, they kind of got to take me. You know what? You taught me something else too, you bunch.
was it the power
Maybe.
of friendship?
Pretty damn close. Real damn close. Maybe this was about pride after all.
Oh no.
Well, how the hell you beat pride? You don't get big and swole and threaten to beat the shit out of everybody, do you? Poke, poke.
Sleeping.
He just snores.
Just rocking him.
I'm like, put the coffin down. Put the coffin down. I want the coffin. If he puts
Alice
it down, I'll
says-
curl up in the coffin.
Oh my god. Alice says usually way to overcome pride is to find a common interest. Whether it be an enemy or, and she looks at Jett, looks at Lucius, looks at Ellie, looks at Baptiste and says, a little bit of magic.
Magic. No, I'm kidding.
Huh. I'll be damned. You, and he points at you, Baptiste. You got an extra one of them?
I know it's going to look a little strange. It's a lot smaller and it's green and it's pretty much just the Psalms and New Testament, but here you go.
And he takes it and sits back in his chair, puts the beer on the arm of the chair, grabs a piece of jerky, and just basically just ignores you guys and starts flipping through that book like it's the first time he's ever read it. And it's clearly that he hasn't, but he's in that moment. You had this moment recently, right? He's rediscovering his belief, and you guys did that, clear as day.
And Baptiste would say, now, there's a whole lot in there, but what happened to work right over that way was focusing in on the bits about being nice and working together, not all the bits about how we're different or punishment. What it's worth.
I just use logic.
So you're saying more
Let it
New
go. Just let
Testament,
it go.
more New Testament, and less death, destruction, brimstone, and Old Testament.
Well, if you need a story about making it through the desert all working together, I think the Old Testament might maybe have something in there for you.
Oh, it's so good when it comes to giving sermons, though, isn't it? Oh, all the terror you can. I'm sorry. I probably got me carried away the first time. I don't know if you noticed, but I do love to perform.
Well, I think maybe a little bit of performance is fine, but, you know, for them, not for yourself.
You know what I think I'm going to do when they get that cart built? I'm going to wait till everybody's in it, and then I'm going to bless it.
All right, that's good. I was really worried where that was going to go, but I think that one will be fine.
And he goes back to that book, yeah.
Fantastic.
And Alice puts her hands on Baptiste's shoulder and she says, "We had different ways, but both achieved the same result."
You know, I think as long as everybody looks out for each other and no one ever uses that silly little book to make a lot of money for themselves and build giant buildings and cause division amongst each other, I think we'll be fine.
Me too.
I'm just going to stare at the camera for a little while.
Yeah, and Alice kind of looks back at John Onion Seed and she says, "Well, I think that's our cue." She takes a couple pieces of jerky and then goes.
Yeah.
Can we all just grab a rope and the ship flies off? I know there's no one driving it, but just
Yes.
just
yes.
Can we just Mary Poppins the fuck out of here?
Alice has rigged a thing where there's a rope. There's climbing the ladder, and right beside it there's a rope. You pull it, and the ship starts to rise as you guys climb the ladder up the side.
I
And
totally
you guys,
do.
yeah, you totally Mary Poppins the hell out of here.
Before we go, though, a sleepy Jett as y'all are
You have to
walking
help
off.
Jett up the stairs. Yeah.
Well, no, he's in the car. He's like, "We all carry me back in the coffin, please. Please, just do it for me, please."
I don't want to be your
The
Papa
thing he was
Bear.
gonna, you know that thing he
he's
was
still
gonna
got
do
a
to you,
little bit
Baptiste?
of
But
he's got a little bit of like
He's like
dried
a
cracked mud on
sleepy
his face.
kid getting on the plane.
Yeah.
and but I'm like, please just carry me. I just want y'all to let me down one last time.
Jett is basically sitting there going, "Upsies."
Upsies, yeah. And everybody's going, no, we have to keep him awake till we're on the plane, so he
We're
sleeps through the
talking
whole
over
trip.
Sky's joke. It's not Jet's joke. We're talking over Sky's joke.
Oh Lord,
That was a good one, though.
So
it's a stolen joke. Let me be honest.
young comics do
yeah.
homage material, old comics steal. So,
Yeah, we GTFOing.
It's our
so
travel.
you
music.
lift up and away from that particular island and head towards the next one assumes?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, the next of these giants steps.
These connected steps, yeah, absolutely. The next, obvious, like you said, basically you're following these lines because they go from every island to every island.
When we're
You know,
up on the ship, Ellie's gonna like take off her scarf and just like lift Jett's head and just put it under and just have a good sleep.
Yeah.
And I imagine we do the good old wash, rinse, repeat with the like fly so that we can see and like look and try to figure out what it is, and then
The one thing you do notice as you get to the end of this island, there's the remains of one of these giant carts that's been torn down. You can see it looks like they took the wheels, they took maybe some of the bits and pieces, but most of it looks like it's been torn down and left behind.
on the new island, like the next one.
No, this is right
this
on the
one.
end of this island that you were at. It's just it was all laying sort of as rubble at the bottom of the next tripod. I mean, if you think about it, there's about, there's probably almost an entire group behind you. Maybe they don't need it. Maybe this one broke, but for whatever reason, there's a broken one of these carts at the end of this tripod. And you see it again, the line goes down into the mist, and you can just see it rising up the other side, but you can't actually see the other plateau from here.
Seems like the lodge group is getting smaller and smaller as we go.
Yeah, which could be a good thing if it comes down to some sort of battle, but
As far as sheer numbers go, though, it makes me wonder, the people that are going to be remaining with him seem like they may
they're going to be
the
the
ones
strongest.
the true believers. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I have to wonder, the island we just left. I mean, the first island we didn't fight any giant monster. The second one we did. This third one, I wonder if these people sort of took care of the demon themselves somehow. Well, maybe we really have no idea what to expect with each one of these.
Yeah. I mean, endless jerky and beer. It's definitely something super. Maybe it's just if anybody disagrees with him, Father Grimm lets it play out and moves on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that second one, it certainly seemed to be some sort of curse.
Yeah.
Did we ask why this third island got left behind the way that we did with the first one?
Yeah, they were bickering, so they got left behind.
They were bickering too much? Okay.
Yeah.
They were bickering with each other. They were also starting to argue with Father Grimm. They were questioning whether he had authority to be doing what he was.
So. Okay. So it was just the... Okay.
Yeah. So it seems like anybody that tries to disagree with him, he just basically gives them what they want in a twisted way.
Is there a way for y'all to just sort of let this balloon hover in one spot with nobody driving it?
I'll probably think of something. I don't know, like sort of.
You drop something on a rope as an anchor,
yeah,
or if it's calm, which it never is here, you could just sort of hover. But yeah,
I simply asked because while I did enjoy a nap this afternoon, it occurs to me that none of us have had a proper sleep in about 2 days. Yes. Perhaps we should actually
Except for Sleeping Beauty.
Go to bed. We follow his before we, maybe at the end of this island or at the very edge of the next one, before we go flying into the middle of it.
Well, depending on what it is, like the merchants, they were locked in bidding wars, so we probably could have slept there before anything happened. So maybe depending on what it is.
I mean, that big thing's there. Do we want to just land next to it or tie something off? Or?
Can.
You could certainly use it like the Zeppelins used to mount. Well, they tried to do on the top of buildings. It turns out wind is an issue, but it's not an issue here. You could absolutely tie up to the tripod for the night.
Is it about that? Is it like
that is some serious role play right there. He's actually getting tired.
Is it that time? Like, is it?
Yes, it is late afternoon. Yeah, it is definitely evening time for sure. You guys, it took a while to get to that first island or to that last island. So.
Yeah, then I think we tie up for the night.
Just for a split second, out of character and out of game, that island wasn't originally about pride, but you made it about pride. So there we go, back where we were. And then you beat it the only way you beat pride, with humility. So
we did something.
Guys, you tie off to this tripod.
Yeah.
For the night. Give us, everybody just because we haven't done a roll yet tonight. We probably should. It is a role-playing game with rolls in it. Give me a perception to see what you guys can see through the fog of this next island.
Scrutin.
I mean, I could just stand here. Yeah, scrutinize for me. I could stand here and just storytell all night, but we really should roll some dice and justify it.
Scrut.
That's not great scrutin.
We're tired.
I'm sleepy.
We've been over this.
Yeah. Ellie,
he's asleep.
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, that's excellent scrutin for somebody that's actually asleep. But Ellie, you're the only one that sees in the distance just the edge of this next island. And it's very strange because it's covered in parallel lines. It looks like somebody took a rake and dragged it. You can only see the first couple 100 feet, but it looks like it's just covered in these furrows, ridge and furrow.
Hmm.
Looks for all the world like somebody's trying to farm over there.
I'll make a
Well, that's
mention
really
to the
interesting.
two that are to anybody who's still awake.
Yeah. Do you think it's gonna be glutton? Just out.
Everybody has a night's rest. And so, in the morning, dawn rises, and now the rest of you can see a little better because the sun's behind you now, coming in from the east, kind of through this silvery mist that's surrounding you. And across this opening, again, onto the next one, you can see, it's ridge and furrow farming. But there's nothing growing. For anybody that doesn't know, you make ridges in the soil, and you plant inside the ridges, and you water it, and the water goes down and into the furrows in between and keeps it moist in the roots. So it's a very old style of farming. But you guys know nothing grows out here.
I imagine once we're up and we kind of get going again, as we get closer, do we start to see people? Like,
there's one or two you see as you get a little closer. They've got hoes and spades and picks, and they are working the earth like there's something there. They're weeding weeds that aren't there as you're flying towards them. They're making these ridges in the ground and pouring what can only be seawater on it.
that's not gonna
No
work.
fresh water out here.
Is it a vineyard, maybe?
It's hard to tell because there's no plant life.
Grapes of Wrath? Anybody?
Boo!
All right, well, I'm going back to sleep.
It's I guess we need to ask him what they're farming.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
yeah.
'Cause-
It seems like getting down there and talking to them is going to be the way to
Yep.
get an idea about this one first off.
Yep.
So you drop down closer to them and get sort of within hailing distance. And you can see them. They're watching you come, but they're sort of still working like they've got to get through the day. And finally, one of them looks up and says, "Hello?"
Oh, we didn't figure this. Which
Oh,
one? Who's talking to?
Oh, no.
Who's got this group?
Hel-
Well, I don't know.
Hello?
Hi.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
Shove.
We're all like,
Oh no! I shoved too hard.
What? That's amazing, first of all. Pointing
Thank
at
you.
your
We've got
hole.
very smart people on this boat.
Yeah, have you got any food?
Yeah, we do. Are you not having much luck trying to grow down there?
This is salt flat. Nothing's going to grow here.
That would be tough to make food out of.
Yeah, but what else are you going to do? I mean, you got to try.
Give us 1 second. We'll come down to you.
You've got food, right?
ask him why Father Grimm left him behind.
What are you doing out here? Weren't you with Father Grimm?
We were. And we just told him that it wasn't possible to grow anything out here. He promised us the promised land. We said nothing would grow out here. And he said, prove it, and left us.
Give us 1 minute. I'm just gonna turn to everybody else.
Well, that's certainly in line with the whole they disagree with him and he gives them exactly what they want
Yeah, I mean, sure.
theory.
And
Granted,
also,
I don't know how we're going to go down there and fix the fact that these
That
islands
nothing
don't
will
have
grow?
salt.
Yeah.
well, did you say that there were only 2 of them down there?
Yeah, is that now that we're closer?
That you
is
can see. That you can
Okay.
see that are working. There is in the distance a town or a group of buildings.
I'm gonna
Ramshackle.
call down to him. I'm gonna ask him, how many of you are there down there?
About 300?
All right, there's more than 2.
Yeah, that's a lot more.
It
I
is
was-
a little bit small. It's smaller than the last one.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it was 2, we could just.
Has it been
him
going
back.
down by 100 every time?
No, it's been all over the place. The first
Yeah.
one
Okay.
was only a few. There was only a few at the book place. The big one was the last one.
Last one had like 1,000 people.
Yeah.
1,000 people altogether. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, I mean, I don't know that we have provisions for 300, but
Yeah, I
I
don't-
mean,
I mean,
we
I
could
guess.
certainly
Well,
head to
I
town
guess.
and try to talk to them.
Yeah, we can ask why they haven't left because that the last time we figured out why they weren't able to leave and we were able to offer a solution to that. So maybe if we figure out why these people haven't left, we can offer a viable solution.
Yeah. All right.
What's
Well, I
that?
guess we'll head towards the town.
Sure. You guys, you said food. You said you had food.
Bye.
Drop a cheeseburger off the side of the
I did say that Alice grabbed a bunch of jerky, so that's
Yep.
not enough for
Toss some
300.
It's-
jerky
Oh yeah,
down.
wait,
Make
yeah.
it rain jerky.
Oh,
yeah,
that sounds awful.
They are just gnawing on it. Yeah, they are clearly very hungry. You guys make your way towards the town. As you get closer, you can see there's now more people looking up at you. Those were the only 2 people out in the fields, and you see why. There's no point. There's nothing to do. You know, they've gone to all this trouble of making these fields, but nothing can grow here.
So why are this? Okay.
Is there still stuff that they'd be able to build here?
There's bits and pieces. Yeah, there's these sort of wooden lean-tos. Again, all this stuff that they're left with. It looks like every time a group is left behind, they're left with the minimum survival.
To survive.
So they're given shelter, and depending on what their problem was with Grim, they may or may not have been left with food and things like that.
Is his plan this whole time just to weed out those that aren't true? Is that what?
I mean,
This is all-
that sounds like something. It sounds like something a man like that might do.
No process of like almost cleansing in a sense.
Are we gonna shoot him? By the way, have we determined? Because like he sounds like a very shootable man at this point.
Does he though? Because I
Did
mean,
that
if
make-
he's
I think dealing with him along those lines seems to be more and more the direction this is going.
well, I guess let's figure out why they haven't left.
Yeah, yeah. Land and ask them who the mayor is or who's in charge.
Yeah.
And if we're in a big crowd, we probably shouldn't bring any food down unless we
Yeah.
get
No.
attacked.
What if they try to eat
Oh,
it?
that's it. That's a good idea.
Yeah. We also don't
Well, if
want
they
to.
attack us and try to eat us, I'm pretty sure that we're allowed to defend ourselves
Yeah.
with bullets.
Also, if this island is like the one that the curse was on, then gluttony comes up out of the ground.
It
At
eats
that point,
us.
probably. Yeah.
If something tries to eat you, Jett, you have my full blessing to shoot it in the face.
There you go.
It's gonna be hard because I'm such a snack. I can't stop. Y'all help me.
God, oh, man. What did you get into tonight?
I got all riled up in that first scene, and now it's just like
He is feeling the effects.
That's fine. That's fine. I like it.
At
So
that,
you
Alice
guys-
just
yeah.
walks away from Jett.
You guys drift up close to the town. in a sudden and slightly uncomfortable silence. As still shirtless Jett, but now definitely all spindly and skinny again. Yeah, makes inappropriate comments. And you guys approach town.
Yeah.
And there's people looking up at you as you get closer.
Does it look like anybody's in charge? Is there any
land and whatnot?
There's mostly it's just random people, but there is a small group near the center of town. There's 3 or 4 of them that are standing together and talking to each other instead of just staring. Like they look at you and then talk to each other and then look back at you.
Looks like a good enough place to start.
I don't disagree.
Shall we?
Yeah.
We shall.
Hello, visitors.
Is that one of the 4? Like, what are they?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
What up?
I'm sorry. I thought your sound quit. What up?
No, I just
what up?
How to respond?
What up?
What up?
Howdy.
Can you take us all back to the mainland, please?
Have you not been able to leave?
No.
What were you? Why are you here? What were you left with? Do you not have one of those?
The cart things.
They took them all with them, but that's not why we can't leave.
Okay, why can't you leave?
That, and it points behind you.
Well, this is me reaching to a gun.
Yeah.
So that's very clear.
As you turn, the fields that you've just flown over start to ripple and bubble, and dust starts to like something's moving underneath.
Well, I mean, I guess, do we want to... I'm worried about the boat getting damaged.
Well, we wouldn't have parked it on the field, so I think that's okay if it comes up from the field. So I guess I'll just turn and ask him, like, what is that? Because if nothing's coming up out of the ground yet, then, like...
He just points again and says, watch.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Don't like that.
And you turn and look, and those 2 guys that were working in the field are doing the slow motion run across the field towards you, eyes this big, just everything
run
they've
faster!
That's clearly the
slow
solution.
Motion, you moron.
Why are you trying to run slow?
And you're waiting, like, for something. You know something's going to happen. You're waiting for a claw or a fist or something. They just start to shrink. What little bit of meat was left on them starts to suck in. The bones start to protrude through the shoulders. Within a couple of steps, they look like there's been no food in them in 6 months. You can see every rib. You can see the skin starting to go pale, and then it's and just drop into the dust. Clearly.
Why did you even let them go out there?
2 a day keeps the doctor away.
Apparently not.
That's a bad
Wait,
doctor.
no, that was
Doctor.
pretty ominous.
Who's the doctor?
Shit, this is like that second one. What the...
This is like Simon or the doctor.
There's a dust swirl starts out in the field, like a tornado made of tornadoes. And it's sucking everything off of the ground. Everything, all the salt and the dirt and the dust. But every time that wind passes past a living human being, it's like it's sucking the vitality out of them.
Alice says, are you saying you sacrifice 2 people a day to whatever in the hell that is?
Yep. But I don't think that's gonna work today. Thanks for this.
You know what? it's time for some old Baptiste style impulse control. Yeah,
Wait a minute, Jett, why did you have to get big?
Baptiste says, well, why don't we find out? And I'll grab the one that's been talking to us, and I drag him towards the Dust Devil. And when I get 20 feet away, I just shove him as hard as I can.
You throw him, and he's kind of flying through the air, and it's kind of like watching somebody get sandblasted. Just
why would you think I know that reference? Why do you think that's a good reference for me? I mean, it's like watching
I paint.
Do know
it's
what
watching
that looks like.
Paint get sandblasted. There we go.
Oh God!
He just kind of ceases to be, but it's not like he was blown apart. It's like he was reduced to dust. Every bit of vitality and energy was sucked out of him.
Well, I mean,
I'm gonna start like backing up and running back to the group, and I mean, I'm just gonna yell, get back in the boat, back in the boat.
What? Which is
I'm so scared my accent's gone.
This is gluttony, right?
Scared the Georgia out of me.
and while Baptiste finds his Georgia, we will take a break.
Yeah.
And we will come back going into something like combat.
That was an uncharacteristically lighthearted first half. I don't even have music for that shit.
I like the Calliope music. It's just like, I guess this works.
Hey, sure.
In most universes, they call that a piano, but
a piano.
We'll be back. All right, folks. Hope we all got a good rest there. Like the party finally got a nap. Now, as I've been thinking about this, I don't know why people always complain about famine with the salted ground. Because, like, you got salt, don't you? That's a food. Salt is delicious. People, you know. Am I the only one here? I'm looking at these faces, and everybody's looking at me like I'm crazy.
That's reasonable.
Marty, I did not know you were part moose.
What?
Salt licks. They work for moose.
I mean, they work for everybody. Give it a try is all I'm saying. Don't knock until you try it.
Please do not take medical advice from a multidimensional Marty.
I still have
licking salt is not good for you.
I still got several cases of these Ghost Rock corn dogs download too. So if you don't know interested in them,
come join us on the Discord and you can get in a real good deal.
Yeah.
Ghost Rock corn dog fingers.
Kind of a poor investment on my part, but you know.
They got freezer burn by now.
You just dip them into hell for a minute, they'll warm right up. Anyway.
All right, so we had just solved everything. And
yep, we solved everything, which means we can take some time now to actually talk about what these fine people. I can segue anything. I don't care where you give me. I'll segue. We are going to talk to these fine people about what they do during the rest of the week when they're not here doing this. And we're going to start with right beside me here, half of Roll for Initiative. Is that how I can refer to you?
Sure.
Yeah. What are you guys up to this weekend?
Oh boy, what do we got going on this week? We've been doing a lot of painting recently, and so we've got another really great painting video out today that is a walkthrough of painting a really fun sort of demon type character that we've got, and also has a really great like tutorial how to make like balefire or magic looking fire. And it's 2 steps. So if you want a really cool thing for your miniatures, go check out that video and learn how to make some nifty magical looking fire.
I like the idea of 2 steps because the internet is full of easy to paint fire videos that involve, they're 47 minutes long and that's edited down because it took 8 hours to do it. So yes, 2-step fire I like. With that, I know what we need to do. We need to talk about our YouTube channel. So, Sarah, why don't you tell us about what's going on over there?
I got a lot of stuff going on over there. Tomorrow, we have our newest episode of Hero Factory featuring your narrator. What? So that's going to be dropping tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. And then we've got the next 2 weeks, we have the making of Key 3, and then the making of Rolda will follow that. And then some fun bonus stuff maybe coming week after next.
Speaking of fun bonus stuff, let's stay with you for a second, because next Sunday is some fun bonus stuff. Tell us what's going on there.
Next Sunday, or this Sunday, however you look at it, is also your narrator. Again, he's crazy. So be sure to check out that episode that is dropping tomorrow of Hero Factory, because that will actually give you some insight into the character that you're going to be seeing on Sunday. So those two things are linked. So if you want some insider information, be sure to go check out that Hero Factory episode tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And I think that covers it. Any of the other three doing anything we should absolutely positively know about?
I have a channel.
No. Well, we'll fix that for next week. You stayed out of jail. That's a pat on the back for Sky for staying out of jail for yet another week. They'll find the bodies in the basement soon, I'm sure. With that, bodies in the basement seems like a good place to go back to. We find ourselves back off the west coast of the fractured lands of California. And in front of, not quite sure what yet, there is a swirl of dust and hunger in this unproductive, spoiled land. The farmers that are here with you are backing away into the village behind you. What would you like to do?
Run away?
You have a boat.
Are we just gonna let this sweep the town? Because that's not really, my forte.
Well, I mean, I figured getting back to the boat was going to be the safest place for us, so that it doesn't destroy the boat as it tears through town. We can fight it from the sky, perhaps.
What if it sucks us?
Is it only taking flesh and like?
It's hard to tell, because the only living things on this island are the humans.
But is it like tearing apart the lean-tos and the tents? And...
there is a wind, but not a destructive wind. It's not destructive enough to be doing this to the people. This sort of force. And from inside that cloud, you see it starting to thicken and starting to take on a form. A huge humanoid form made out of dirt and dust.
So how do you fight? Oh Lord!
With
you gonna fight dirt with? I don't know what in the world.
So you guys get back to the boat?
Boat or no?
Well, if it's not destroying the other buildings, I think the boat will be fine. It's the people I'm more worried about.
Well, if that thing sucks us up into it, we can't help them.
I mean, I don't know. I think I'll be okay. And those were his last words.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of. You ain't got a lot of meat on your bones.
You notice again. I'll ask, are you guys heading back to the boat? But as you decide that, you notice it really is taking on a physical form now. It's starting to look a lot like the demon or devil or whatever it was from the previous island, except this one obviously a different source, a different cause.
I feel like, I mean, if we get in the boat, we can get further away, or we can
fight from a boat,
spread out and try to have more room. But we better figure it out real fast.
Yeah, let's
Alice
go
says,
to the boat.
"Can you absolve him from the sky?"
I mean, it worked last time, but I don't know if it'll work this time again.
Only one way to find out. And Alice takes off running towards the boat.
Okay. Everybody.
I don't know if
Go ahead. I
nobody
heard
may
an
follow.
We can.
But
I mean, that's
we may
where
all have. We may all have one before we start to.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm running into the boat as well. It's like, yeah, this is safe.
Jett and Ellie.
I mean, if everyone else is starting to head towards, I'll start heading that way too. But is there anyone still, like, any of the people still around that aren't, like, that it look like they're in the path still?
They're backing away behind you, sort of into the center of the village. But if this thing keeps coming, everybody's in the path.
Okay.
So you're heading back for the boat, Jett?
How big is it? Is it taking up both sides? Like, is it about our size? Is it really big?
This is not as physically large as the other one was, as Greed was, but it's more amorphous. It's more mobile. It looks like it's going to be difficult to damage.
I guess it's like I start and I see that everybody's running away, and then I see everybody running toward the boat, and I'm like, and I guess I'll run back toward the boat and get on. I'm pulling out
Okay.
rope.
Okay, everybody roll me some, quickness. Or no, wait a minute. What is it? Yeah, it's quickness to do the cards, right?
Yep.
Yep.
It's been a while. So yeah, let's do that. Oh, that was awful.
in a minute. Oh goodness.
So Ellie gets 1 card, Baptiste gets 3, Alice gets 2, and Lucius gets 1. Jett, you
Jett.
got 1. I didn't see your 6 up there.
Oh, it was first. Oh, I didn't see it either.
You beat me. You even beat me to the roll. So you guys scramble up onto the boat. The steam engine is running for the purposes of this. The engine is running. You cast off the anchor, and you are free to fly about the place if someone wants to take their turn to control the boat. Other than that, aces, kings, queens,
A queen.
jacks, queens,
Queen.
Alice.
So Alice will say, "Where?" She'll look at the, Jett and Baptiste. Where do you want us?
Away from town.
Yeah, the opposite direction it's walking now. Maybe the other side of it.
So behind it.
Gonna
Yeah.
go around the back. Yep.
Okay. Yep.
Give me a. We were using sleight of hand for your piloting, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, give me one of those.
It's a 10.
That's good. You start. You get the steam cranked up, and you start to arc around. By the time the rest of these guys get, or by the time this moves on a little bit, you've actually started the boat around, so you're actually slightly flanking it now. It seems to be ignoring you and heading directly to town. Jacks. Oh, that was a bunch of fingers. There's gonna be some bullets flying here, or
We
something.
got spades.
I got clubs. So yeah, I think you're first. You're before me.
Oh, is it? I'm sorry.
Yep,
I
go
think.
ahead.
Yeah, I think it's
Spades.
spades, diamonds, clubs, hearts.
Okay. So you said we're flanking it right now, right?
Yeah, you're sort of off of its shoulder.
As we're getting ready to be pulling away from it, I am going to attempt to lasso it.
Okay.
And if I see it land, I'm going to immediately tie it off to something in the boat.
Whoa, okay. Give me the lasso and attempt. How hard is it to lasso? Yeah. You throw it out and pull, like it goes right around the wrist, and you pull and it just goes.
Son of a gun. Yeah, that's
The other Jack.
I'm gonna. So looking around, yeah, I know that we had provisions of some kind, so I want to find like a small crate, you know, like what corn comes in,
Sure.
you know, or
Yep.
something like that that's got food in it. And
Yep.
I actually like, yeah, no, that'll be great. So you throw your lasso, and it's a beautiful lasso, but it just comes back, and I'll actually just kind of, because it's already tied off, I'll just ball that and grab your and like lasso the tie the lasso around the crate of food, and he'll
Yep.
sort of and just throw it almost like I'm going fishing is what I'm
Yep.
doing.
Absolutely. Yep.
So-
Sleight of hand or convince me of something else.
Well, let me see how good my sleight of hand is.
Just a straight deafness. I
uh,
could see all kinds of options for this.
well, my sleight of
Throwing
hand's
is
nothing.
actually a skill.
Also, my throwing is nothing. What was lassoing underneath, Jett?
I made it up
Think
under
we had-
throwing.
Oh crap!
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to just do a straight deafness.
Sure, absolutely. Let's tell a story. Give me some deafness. I like successes.
All right,
it is.
okay, it's not the worst.
So yeah, you crank it, put your foot on it, pull that knot tight. It's heavy, and you let it hurl with it.
Rocket
it
tomatoes.
It flies over and goes sort of into the body of the creature, and you can see even through the dust, the wood just withers of the case is made of, and inside you can watch it fall to dust, and inside you can see all this corn or tomatoes or whatever it was that just gets consumed. But there's a shudder that goes through the whole cloud.
Okay, is it turning to follow us?
Would you notice?
Well, I mean, it's what I was
Actually,
trying.
it hasn't acted yet. So
Okay.
yeah, that's you were at Jack's. It
Okay.
doesn't act yet. So
All right.
yeah. So yeah,
Cool.
tens, nines is its first action.
First
And-
action.
It got more than one card. So there's you said you watch the container go in and just sort of and get consumed, and it stops. And this big sort of shapeless head comes up and looks at the boat. And you can feel like there's not even really a face. It's just a swirling mass of dirt, but there's a feeling, an emotion that comes off of it. It was just ecstasy. And it starts to turn and move towards the boat instead of the town. 8. It continues towards the boat and looks up at you and reaches up with both hands, and you watch them tower above the side of the boat. For a second, it looks like it's going to just grab the rigging and pull you over. And then the hands go. We can see you thinking, but we can't hear you thinking because you're muted. Yeah, the hands
I'm not.
are.
I don't. Yeah, I'm thinking
beckoning.
quietly.
Yeah. 7s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pull them out onto the table. I got a pair of 7s.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you get to go twice.
Jeez. Well, the good news is we have its attention, and the bad news is we also have its attention.
Yeah.
I wonder how far are we from the edge? If it keeps following us away from the town, how far away are we from the edge of this island?
I would suggest, just to put a number on it, approximately 4 successful turns.
Okay.
To
I'm
lead it?
gonna.
You're trying to lead it up to and off of the edge.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start. So with my first 7, I'll pull the rope back in.
Yep.
And I'll like over my shoulder to Alice. I'll say, I sure hope that you got a lot of that jerky from Mr. Onion Seed, and then my second 7 for the other half of my turn, I'll grab another, like, I'm gonna look for something that's like, okay, I don't like cabbage. Like, look for something.
You guys, perfect, because you guys very specifically, when you got the balloon from the military base, you also took a whole bunch of rations. So you've got crates of high quality, high protein food just sitting there.
I just grabbed like 2 rations then and like wrap that around it, and again I'll sort of whip that around and
Give me another deafness.
And throw it.
And throw it out there. Okay, even better. Yeah. So you let it go, and it's a nice shot. It's going right where the last one went, and in one hand just comes up and catches it in midair and just squeezes, and again the jerky just and go. You can see it sort of turn to dust and run down the arm, and there's just another shudder. And this time you can hear it. It's not even a word. It's just a feeling you can feel driving through you. More.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just yell for Alice to keep heading for the edge.
6s.
Oh,
5.
yeah. I got 6s.
6s. Oh, I saw a finger. I didn't see a finger. 6s. Yes. What are you doing?
I don't even know. Like,
I love that look. I love that face. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm so confused, face.
You are a cruel man, Kevin.
What are you gonna do? You know what's in front of you. You know.
I know if I get too close to it, I could get my life force being sucked out of me.
There is always that.
I thought about maybe making explosives, but it's in the ship, so I can't do that. Oh my god. Okay, well, I guess I'll try to sacrifice one of my using sleight of hand and throw one of my ghost steel knives at it. So
okay,
see how that
reacts. Knife
to
attack.
It.
A 5. That is. Thank you for using the macro. That misses, unfortunately. So, yeah, which makes sense. And that, let me. At a moment there. Here's what actually happened. You throw the knife, and this creature, all of dust and spinning air, and it goes right through the chest. Just you see it go right through and out the other side and clatter to the ground.
Yeah. Did anything happen to the knife?
Ghost Steel or not, had no effect.
Okay, well that's good to know. And I'll just tell them, yeah, Ghost Steel does not work on this thing.
5s.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting sneaky. I saw the mute button come off, and I said, I know it must be your turn. So what are you doing?
Well, I hear Baptiste yell that to try to get to the edge, so I'm going to draw a card, and I'm going to try to get the wind to start blowing us to make us go towards the edge faster.
Okay. So what was the stat we used for your cards?
That's empathy.
Empathy. Right, because we created that for you. So roll empathy for me, and then we will 7. So you get 1 extra card. So you get 6 cards. So draw 6 cards from that deck.
Okay.
And put them over here somewhere so they don't get confused with the others. Just plop them out there, and we'll see what the best poker hand we can make out of them is. 7? Come on. There's got to be a 7 in here.
No, Jack.
Oh, okay. That's a whole bunch of nothing. So yeah, you
Can I burn a chip?
absolutely you can. Sure. One white, red, or blue. 1, 2, or 3 extra cards. I just made that up.
Cool. Sounds good.
Or a legend for 5 if you really want to pull the moment out
Ah,
here.
dang it. Got a 2.
I have a question because I know nothing about poker.
Yep.
So would an 8, a 9, a 10, and a jack? That's not some even. That's not something.
You need 5. to get
Oh,
a
okay.
straight has to be 5. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh,
No,
and
got it too.
but don't take later.
Okay, so you
So
just burn
close.
one more for it too. Okay, so you again, this happens in your head. This it is Yahtzee. This happens in your head. This game of poker, and you lose the hand, and you hear Charlie say, "Sorry," and nothing happens. I think it's the first time you've ever failed.
I think so. I'm not as good as making wind as I am at making stuffed animals. It's the wrong party trick.
Different skill set.
Yeah.
I laughed because breaking wind is a euphemism for farting. So when I heard making wind, I immediately turned it into a fart joke. So anyway, 4s?
Got it. 4.
The hands are up above the deck. If
Yeah.
this thing goes like
So-
that, you're done.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep going towards the way that Baptiste told me to go, but also
Yep.
up.
Okay, absolutely. Give me another piloting check. So another sleight of hand. Yep. You start to immediately, the ship immediately starts to rise, and then you start to go into a rising turn.
Yep.
And it is, you are climbing above where its fingers currently are by the end of your move.
Beautiful.
3s. 2s. There's no cards left. Why am I still
Yeah, there's
counting?
no cards.
Next round. Quickness.
Quickness. I really should have put some points into this over time, but
It's only the thing you use. Well, I guess I was going to say in a normal game you'd use it a lot.
yeah, we usually try
Wow.
to.
That's a
Whoa!
surprise. I never get to 11.
Everybody's finding their footing.
Yes,
And here I was
I'm getting it.
disappointed
So-
with an 11.
So
Be
Jett
humble.
gets 2, Alice gets 2, Ellie gets 1, Baptiste gets 2, and I only get 1. Lucius gets 2.
For once.
What have I got? Oh my goodness.
So many cards on the table.
Right, everybody drawn? Yeah.
Before you do that, I'd like to use my calm mind edge to throw away my lowest card and draw
Okay.
for a new one.
Nice.
If I draw a jack of if I draw a black jack, then I can't draw.
Okay.
So there is a
Well,
risk.
you're
to
the
this.
only one that's going to know that, so we'll trust you. I'm watching you.
I'll just get rid of this and I'll draw.
Oh boy, do I recognize that look, looking over my glasses trying to see the TV screen.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah, you're good. So you got a new one. So, aces. Kings. Queens. Jacks.
I got a jack.
Jacks.
Uh,
So you are now just above its outstretched fingers,
okay.
getting around towards almost behind it.
Okay. So we're just gonna keep. I'm like full on support character mode. We're just gonna keep driving in the direction that we're going.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm going to give you a choice. Would you like to continue to ride the roll that you're currently on, or would you like to try and roll again? If you rolled again, you have to take the new roll for what happens in the next round of piloting. Just to keep this interesting, I'll give you this option every round.
You know, we'll roll it.
Okay, just stay where you're at because you had a nice roll. So yeah, you're
As long as we don't, because as long as we don't drop, like
Yes.
that's like if it comes down to her having to decide between dropping and moving forward, she would decide to not move forward in order to stay at the same height.
Gotcha, no problem.
Just so you know where
that
her head's
was
at.
Perfect. That was Jack's 10.
Yeah, and that happens clearly.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, you stay ahead of it, but it is continuing to move towards you. You are moving towards the edge.
I have a 10.
Oh, you rolled again. Oh dear. I didn't realize you were sorry. I'll get back to your 10 in a second. I didn't realize. I thought you said you chose not to roll again. But
Oh
you
yeah, I did. Yeah.
So yeah,
Sorry.
it's again. That's exactly your choice. Drop or move.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you decide to you just sort of stop, and it's rotating towards you. You're still just above it,
Yeah.
but you're no longer flanking it, starting to catch up to you.
Yeah.
Now the 10.
I guess I'll try the same thing again, especially since we've stopped now.
Okay.
Yeah. Alice is like, sorry.
Just jolt. Okay, where is it? Ah, that's even worse.
A 6. So that's one card again. So draw 6 cards.
Might get a better hand though.
Yeah, that's true. They ran out of cards.
Oh, good.
Okay. Shuffle. Shuffle the deck. Here, hang on. Recall. Oh, not the ones in the hand, just the ones on the table. And shuffle. There we go. You should be able to draw again now.
Okay, well I have these. I just need to draw one more.
Okay. Oops. So what have we got there?
Oh,
Got
dang.
a pair of kings.
It's better.
Oh.
Oh, you get one more card though.
Yeah. That's a 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, pair of kings, absolutely. This time, you see the sails kind of go because the steam engine chugs for a second, and you see Alice have to adjust, and then you just
Clutch. You got to put the clutch in.
yeah. And
Second
you just
gear.
kind of you in your head you deal that second hand out to whoever it is that Charlie plays these games against, and now you do. And this time you draw the pair of kings, and they've only got a pair of jacks. And you hear, well done. And you reach up, and the ship starts to move again.
Alice looks really confused.
Yeah, because it just stopped on you. So 9s. Yep.
Okay. So, what is the situation in front of us? Like, is it very close? Are the hands still inside there? I'm trying to.
You guys, the ship is heading towards the edge of this island, which is an absolutely sharp drop off. You're going to be a while before you get there, but that's clearly where the ship is headed. Behind that, reaching up, and its fingers are like if the bottom of your boat and your wheels are here, its fingers are here. You're just above it, but you have no idea how tall it can get. Yeah, but right now, fingers are underneath.
But they're close enough,
keel.
right?
Well, they're right there. I mean, they're within 5 feet of the bottom of the boat.
I'm gonna try something dumb, but let's see what happens. I would like
Love that phrase.
I will try to think of like some chemicals, right?
Yeah.
You know how circus performers they like breathe fire, and
Yeah.
that's kind of what I want to do, in a sense, to the hands. So how would I roll that?
Do you have the chemistry academia?
I do have a little bit of chemistry. I do have a little bit of chemistry on me.
Chemistry? Yeah, give me a chemistry roll.
Could I do a mixture of performance?
Well, we got to get the chemistry right first, otherwise you're just spitting liquid.
Fair enough. Let's see, academia.
Or worse.
Yeah.
This...
Please don't set the ship on fire.
For
Oh.
his lungs.
Hold on.
Well,
I will use my chip to change that. A
Okay.
blue chip from Luck of the Irish.
Okay.
Okay, and I will give that up. So that's 3. How did I roll that?
What do you need to roll?
Yeah, for the giving up a blue chip, I'm using my Luck of the Irish. Chip
Oh,
that
okay. Yeah. So just roll. In this case, yeah, just roll 3d12. Sure. Why not?
12.
Yep. Just use to keep 1.
Oh, whoops! Did I?
Either way, that's okay. It's an 11. That's all good.
all right. Whew.
So you mix a couple of the embalming fluids that you've got in your pouch. Pour that mix into your mouth, all formaldehyde and who knows what else. Strike a match on your belt buckle. Give me a performance check.
Okay.
Yeah. You.
And I will sacrifice another chip because I
Sam's
want
got
this
so
to
many
work.
chips.
Ryan's face right now.
I want this to work so badly.
We just
you
went
don't
away
even
so
know.
the ship didn't get destroyed. Now he's gonna light the ship on fire. So re-rolling.
This is great. I love rolling stuff, man. I love
So
it.
a blue one, give me blue one, give me 1d8. We'll add it to your 6.
Okay.
That's how this really works.
1d8?
That's not how it worked last time, but yeah, 1d8, and we'll add it to this 6. So that's a 9.
For fuck's sake.
You and flame blows out. A little curl of it comes up and lights the front of your hat on fire, like just the brim of your hat.
Leave my hat alone, Marshal Kevin.
No, I will not. The rest of it goes out over the side of the boat and just kind of drops because it's like it's liquid, right? It's burning liquid. As it gets to the creature, it just kind of gets sucked into the tornado that is this creature, and now it's sort of, for a couple seconds, it's sort of a burning tornado, and then that goes up.
And now it's a fire NATO. Thanks.
Almost, yeah.
Out of
Great.
curiosity,
No
Did it-
apparent
did it-
damage.
did it burn like any because it's air, right? Did it?
Yep.
Okay. Well, that experiment didn't quite work.
That was, what was that? That was 9s, was it?
Yep.
I think so. 8s.
Yeah.
Yep. More
I got,
fingers. Go ahead. Let's just alternate. So let's do Ryan.
I have the ace of
let's do-
spades. That outrakes.
Yeah. Yes.
I
you're-
honestly-
Oh, the
I'm-
spades. Okay, yeah.
But
I
honestly,
thought you
what
said
I'm
the
gonna,
ace of spades. I was going to say you missed by a while, but yeah.
what I'm going to do is just kind of just wait and assess the situation and let you go first. So
Okay, there we
I
go.
just went.
Okay. No, that's fine. I am hauling the rope in and grabbing another 2 packs of MREs.
Yep.
And then giving that a go. But while I'm hauling the rope in, because Jett's on the other side of me. There he is. Because Jett's on the other side of me, I'm gonna say, Jett, you remember when you had your friend summon that real strong wind on our very first day?
There is a very awkward looking Jett and him just
Is there any chance you could get her to do that again today and choose the direction?
Well, no.
Oh, well, that answered that question. And
And just
I'll
picture
chuck.
MREs.
I'll
I mean,
chuck
it's
the MRE.
literally below you. I'm not going to make you roll to push a box over the side of a boat.
Okay. Okay.
So-
Right. Because it is. Well, so if it's yeah, that's right. That's right. Because we're barely. We're just.
You're
there,
just
so yeah, so
barely moving, yeah.
I'm actually gonna try to like dangle it just barely. I know that our boat is just barely out of its reach.
Yep.
I'm finding the top of my framing here, but
Yeah. Careful.
like
Careful
a
where you
cat,
put that.
like a cat.
Yeah.
I'm like I said, I'm fishing to try
Yep.
to get it to keep chasing us.
Okay. Give me a sleight of hand, and I have to figure out what this thing's sleight of hand is as you try and outfish a demon.
Sure. What's that under? Is that still under? That's under.
Probably not
nimbleness.
really.
I'm picturing that commercial with the old man with the dollar, and he's just like, "Oh, you have to be
Thank
fast."
you. Yes, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
What's? Oh, there it is.
Gotta be quicker than that.
Okay. And it's not a 5. It is not a 5. It is a 3.
Oh, okay. You are fishing, and this thing just keeps coming up out of the ground. You didn't expect this, and it just reaches up and grabs that chunk or that box of MREs, and the same thing happens. The box is consumed, the food is consumed,
Okay.
and the hand that does that actually starts to drop away from the boat just a little bit. And there's that shudder that passes through the whole structure again. And you just hear it again. More.
Does it seem to be getting more solid as it eats?
If anything, the exact opposite.
Okay.
The other 8? Was there another 8? I thought. Nope.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
me.
seven?
Sorry, that's
Seven,
me.
yeah.
Sorry.
So you've just seen this now.
So I just saw that.
Multiple times. You've now seen food thrown at this thing. It consumes it, it shudders, and it shrinks.
Is the more it consumes,
Becomes
the more
weaker.
it. Oh, so it becomes weaker every time it eats something?
Yep.
Well, given that assessment, I guess we'll give it more food. So.
Really wishing we had that endless jerky
I
barrel.
was thinking that too. I was like, we should have grabbed the endless jerky. Jett could have just held it over and just all of it fall.
Okay, so I guess okay, if it's right under, can I just like try to like see if I can push the food
Oh yeah,
right
and
under?
like I said, at this point, it's if you're just shoving stuff off the boat, it's easy. He was
So, yeah.
fishing, so we made him do a roll. But yeah,
So I'm just gonna do that. Just shove as much as I can at it. So.
so you push a box off. You see the same thing. It falls, and it just falls into the structure of this thing and just gets consumed. And then another box, and another box. And as you guys move towards the edge of the cliff, it just continues to eat. Every time it eats, it gets smaller. Interrupt me at any time.
Actually, yeah, if that keeps doing that, but at a certain point, Baptiste will actually put his arm out to like stop Lucius and say, well, hold on now, if we just feed this thing and it gets what it wants, I mean, it's just going to come back and just harm these people. But if we can keep it, what I was hoping to do is keep it from, getting what it wants and then get it to fall, just drop it off of the edge of this island. So, I mean, it knows that we'll feed it, so let it chase us, but stop feeding it. Don't let it go back into the ground.
All right, that makes sense. But so we're just gonna lead it off the edge, then.
I'm hoping it'll drop. That's why I was hoping that maybe, I don't know if we've got anything. Ellie, is there one of your cards that might be able to get a gust of something to shove it down into the mist and into the oceans below?
I can try. It's not a science, but I can try.
What if you throw a piece of jerky down there? Wouldn't it just go after it?
That might also be very effective.
As our last option, perhaps.
Yeah, you look down and you see these hands reaching up towards the boat. They're like supplicant hands now. They're begging. And it's still following the boat.
Yeah, and I'll like hold a box, but I won't drop this last one.
And that desperate sort of like reaching for something that can't quite reach, and it follows you and follows you. Let's just tell this way. Hannah, you start dealing cards for all your worth in your mind. Miss Alice, you are steering this, like catching every bit of this wind. Jett, even though you've got no appeasement points left, maybe for some reason you feel Raven's presence. Yeah, give me a reason.
I actually was not. I was going in a different direction, but I can work with that if you'd
Okay.
rather.
Nope. Tell me what he did. Don't let me ever tell you what your character does.
If we're getting close to the edge, like right when we're like in that last stretch, I'm actually just gonna light a dynamite and drop it on the edge to kind of hopefully clear it and make it closer. If that makes sense, you get what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah. So you want to actually
Yeah.
like take a chunk out before you get to the edge, yeah?
Yeah, I'm just gonna do that, and then I'll just stand near the edge and be like shaking my butt, just like, come get it.
Yeah. And a finger comes up. You didn't realize it had 3 hands.
No. No.
And your life force is sucked out through Uranus. No, that didn't happen. That's just me. Lucius, what are you doing during this? I mean, we're just going to narrative this out from here, right? So,
Help any way I can. I guess assist with the piloting if I can.
okay. So you step forward to help to help Alice and the ship. Let's do like a crane shot from a distance here. You see the edge of the cliff, and your boat crosses out over into the opening, and behind it, this form is reaching up, and it's reaching out like it realizes it's going to overbalance, but it can't stop. It's reaching for that food. The endless hunger drives it off the edge. And you watch those hands go from supplicant, from please, please, to no, 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 as it's falling. And it tries to claw at the rocks as it falls down into the mist below. And you hear far below you in the ocean. I wouldn't want to be a fish in this bay anytime today. But you have removed this particular creature from this particular island. You fed famine to death. So like I said last week, it's not quite as simple as it looks. It's not just the 7 deadly sins. There's some other stuff in here too. But I think as you hover there in the silver mist above this island of recently freed agrarians who can now go home.
Oh.
Any closing remarks, comments, or anything you would like to do before I draw the curtain?
Actually, I want to see Baptista walk over to Lucius. Says, you know, watching you mix those chemicals and come up with that kind of gave me a bit of an idea. Now, I don't know if there's any truth to the science of it, but, you know, every once in a while, we'd have these rainmakers come through and claim that they could, you know, construct some sort of chemical concoction to seed the clouds. Is there any truth to that? Is there something you could mix up and we could let loose while we're this high up over that farm back there and actually let it start to rain in the desert?
Would that be like an occult or a chemistry check? Or
that would be a narration. That would be a narration check, which means you don't roll them.
Okay, thank God.
Which means this is a beautiful. This is a beautiful idea, and I love this.
I do love that.
So, if I may, you find some things that you need on the boat, and you mix them together, and you come up with a system for spraying it, basically. And you guys finish the day crop dusting fertilizer and water onto this barren salt flat. And the people in the town below are just looking up as it rains down on them and washes the dirt off of their filthy skin. And because you can see the growing start on the top of every one of those ridges below you as you come back for the second pass. These tiny little green strands coming up out of the ground, rising like hope from the desolation. And I think that on that group of 5 faces right there is where I want to drop the curtain. Thank you, guys. That was wonderful. Oh, there are so many ways to skin a cat. That's what my point is here.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow. I believe, Mr. Marty, we are going to go on a raid pretty much right away here. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right, but just before we do, I mean, I need like 15 seconds because I need 3 seconds for each of these amazing people. Ryan playing Baptiste, thank you. That was an amazing session. Ellie playing Hannah. I love the way that you're trying to. She's figuring out these cards, and we're figuring it out together. This is awesome. Sarah playing Alice. Support role, Alice. Talk about character development. Support roll Alice.
Some shit went down. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Oh, Sky playing Jett for us, the inveterate cowboy of infinite good who just will not let anything get in the way. And digger of mighty trenches. The sand, the salty sand that is in the crack of your ass right now from all that digging earlier in the day is going to chafe. That's all I'm saying. And Lessamax playing Lucius. I pick on you something fierce, man. I really do. And you keep smiling back at me when I do it. So thank you so much for that. Thank all of you guys. And before anybody goes away, I'll shoot you next week. Let's go raiding. Good night.
Marching in an undead line, the curse will never fade. Creed Jaffa, Alleluia, Aman Ra. They follow us, their mummies on parade. They follow us, their mummies on parade. They follow us, their mummies.